You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Caught on camera. A Bradenton man concerned about his 19 dogs. What firefighters did to save his life.
Plus, right now, an iconic Suncoast resort is hours away from the wrecking ball. We'll tell you where it is.
And look at this. An officer goes above and beyond to save a man from a moving train. Those stories in your first alert forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning. Glad you're with us. July 25th, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. A little wet weather continues in our forecast, right, Josh Stone?
That is correct, Stephanie. Yeah, we have some showers and some storms out here in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll show you that in just a second. Right now, it's 83 degrees in Sarasota, 82 in Bradenton and Venice, with a few clouds out there. But here's the shower activity once again ramping up, and basically the same situation as we had yesterday with that westerly, southwesterly flow. Now, as far as the Suncoast goes, we had a little shower activity around Venice earlier this morning. Actually, that was just to the east of I-75, just to the south of Venice. But right now, some scattered showers here, even some thunderstorms tracking in from the Gulf of Mexico. Most of it, though, is kind of moving away from the area. Will we get our share of showers later today? We'll let you know when I return. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Let's check the roads right now. First off, here's the scene in Manatee County. Not much to report so far. A little buildup on 301 northbound as you head toward downtown Bradenton. Also a little buildup there on Longboat Key. We'll check later on in the morning as well. Clark Road eastbound at the bend where it becomes where Swift comes out to Clark. Otherwise pretty clear in the northern half of the county. In South County, some buildup there on 41 both north and southbound down around Northport.
Well, once a world-class destination, later today the iconic Colony Resort on Longboat Key is getting torn down. End
of an era. Marla Spence is live there from the former resort. Marla?
Good morning to you, Ray and Stephanie. The iconic resort that sits behind these closed gates behind me is finally set to happen today. Now, this comes after Longboat Key officials got the green light to tear down the iconic and former resort just last month. Now, after 8 years of the resort being abandoned, a judge ordered an emergency demolition. 237 units were abandoned back in 2010 after a legal fight between the condo's owner and managers of the property. Longboat officials say there are a number of problems with the former resort, including it posing health concerns, safety issues, and welfare issues for the town's citizens and also visitors. Longboat officials say the buildings are decaying and falling apart. Now, although the resort is coming down today, it still reminds so many of the memories shared at the former resort. We spoke to one man last month, and he tells us he will never forget the memories spent here. 15 years ago, he proposed to his wife and even got married at the former resort.
It was just a very special place with great memories. For anybody that went there, great memories.
Now, for you all wondering what will be placed here, once the demolition is complete, there will be a St. Regis Hotel and also residences that will be placed here once demolition is complete on this 26 buildings, replacing that, and also this 18 acres of property. Reporting live in Longboat Key, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Developing overnight at Tampa International Airport, the bomb squad determined a suspicious bag was not a threat after all. They found a bag in Airside Sea about 9:15 p.m. That's near the Southwest and Frontier Airlines area of the airport. They cleared the area, but in the end, no threat was found and no flights were affected. Caught on camera, a Bradenton man nearly risked his life by running into a burning home to save nearly 20 dogs trapped inside. We now know what began that fire. A candle sparked that fire, and another fire started earlier today, which firefighters are still investigating. The man in that video now is Michael Johnson. He says he got a phone call yesterday that his house was on fire and rushed home to make sure his fiancée, daughter, and mother and 18 dogs were okay.
I tried to run up to the door to call my dog, to call my dogs outside, because they'll come if they hear me. They only come to me like that.
Johnson says 4 Chihuahuas are still missing. They're urging people in the community to help find them. There are 3 brown Chihuahuas and a tan one missing. Contact information can be found on our website.
Well, they are being called the worst wildfires in over a decade. More than 70 so far have died, over 150 injured. Melissa Bells reports from just outside Athens, Greece.
Wildfires rage across the hills surrounding Athens, forcing many to jump into the sea to escape the flames. A wall of fire so hot it melts the tires of cars in its path, and moving so fast that dozens were trapped as they tried to escape. Some of the victims in Mati, to the east of Athens, were found clinging to each other.
Yes, it's true. It seems that some of them, the deceased, knew each other because they were found in groups of 3 and 4, so they could be friends or relatives or families who tried to protect themselves by hugging each other.
In Mati, the fire has now been put out, and locals like Doris Konturiotis are returning to size up the damage.
Many people who were during the fire yesterday, they say that it expands within minutes, and the temperature was so high, so nobody could do anything just in this area. As you can see, houses, cars, everything destroyed from the fire. I have lost everything.
But elsewhere, the fires continue to rage as 500 firefighters battle to put out the flames. Hundreds have been evacuated and a state of emergency has been declared. The Greek Prime Minister has urged people in threatened neighborhoods to flee immediately. On Tuesday, he declared 3 days of mourning.
Now it is the time for mobilization and fighting. A fight to save what can be saved. A fight to defeat the fire. A fight to find the missing, so that we don't mourn any more lives and we may soothe the pain of those affected.
So much of that pain is being felt here in Mati, where the cleanup operation is underway and where so many of the victims of these fires died, many of them on this street, either in their cars or trying to flee them. The street itself is covered with dried puddles of molten aluminum, a reminder, the remains of an inferno so ferocious that it stopped those who happened to be here in their tracks. Melissa Bell, CNN, Mati.
A college football player died during a preseason workout yesterday in Maine. Darius Minor collapsed as he was training. Staffers and responders could not revive him. The 18-year-old was set to play defensive back for the team this fall. Minor planned to major in political science. Happening today, a blood drive at Venice City Hall. It is sponsored by the group One Blood. It's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and all donors will receive a free beach towel and a wellness checkup, which includes blood pressure, iron count, and also a cholesterol screening.
Move! 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 Move!
Wow, check this out. This morning, a New Jersey police officer is being celebrated for some quick thinking after he saved a man who was right in the path of a fast-moving train. Body camera video of those moments show that the man appeared to have no clue that the train was headed right for him. The officer then ran toward the man as the train was only about 600 feet away, waved to slow the train down, and then helped get the man off the tracks. As you can see here, it was a close call.
Sit down. Are you okay?
Where'd you come from?
Look.
Thank you.
So, what's your last name?
Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wow, some powerful moments right there. Now, that man was taken to a hospital for further treatment. The officer that saved him had only been with the department since January of this year.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, severe weather causing flooding nationwide. How much damage it's caused so far, and what the National Weather Service is telling residents impacted.
And later in the hour, a Sarasota man stands accused in the weekend shooting of an on-duty Fort Myers police officer. We're going to tell you why immigration officials are now getting involved. But first,
here's a peek outside our window at 5:09. Peaceful morning in progress. Looks like we've got some showers heading toward the Bay Area. Josh?
Yeah, Ray, more heavier showers up towards the Tampa Bay area. Right now, some showers developing just offshore here in the Gulf of Mexico, but the general flow is moving to the north and east, and possibly away from the Suncoast, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. As far as the day goes, well, the showers could ramp up, especially in the afternoon. Highs topping out in the upper 80s, low 90s. What does the rest of the work week look like? We'll let you know when I come back in a few minutes. Stay with us.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. Can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today. Well, we're walking out the front door to 83 degrees outside, dew point at 76. So it feels muggy once again. Southwesterly wind at 13 miles per hour with a few clouds out there. Again, we have this westerly southwesterly flow. It's going to maintain itself for about 10 miles per hour throughout the day, maybe a little bit higher than that, but still that's going to continue to bring more clouds and shower activity. You can see the speckles of green here on the radar. That's the showers and even some embedded thunderstorms here tracking in from the south and west. As far as the Suncoast goes on this Wednesday morning, well, a little bit of shower activity to the east now of Northport, but no showers along the Suncoast. Heavier rain, though, and even some stronger winds being reported around the Tampa Bay area with some of these bigger showers that have moved on shore, and looks like some shower activity well offshore here of Siesta Key and Longboat Key are developed, but they're generally tracking towards the north and east, but we'll keep an eye on it for you as we go through the morning hours. As far as what's happening, again, same thing as yesterday. Amplified trough, area of low pressure that's just sitting and spinning and not moving anywhere, and that continues to bring that moisture here off the Gulf of Mexico in our direction. So it's going to be muggy, a little bit of clouds, and also we'll have our share of on and off showers. Now, on our in-house Futurecast model, shows more of the heavier showers around the Tampa Bay area today. As we move this into time, a few hit or miss showers come into the Suncoast, especially things start to ramp up by the afternoon hours. But I think, again, like yesterday, any real heavy showers probably will be inland for this afternoon. Tropics again, nothing doing. It's all quiet. All right, for the boaters, again, if you are going to the beach, though, strong rip currents are in effect, so just keep that in mind. Southwesterly wind at 15 knots, sea is 2 to 4 feet with a moderate chop in the bay, just like yesterday. High at the beach today will be 88 degrees. Your high inland around 89, 90. That's about average for this time of the year, but it will feel close to 100 degrees, and that's exactly what we experienced yesterday afternoon. Okay, breaking down the forecast. As we get into Friday, a couple of days from now, looks like the rain chance does lessen because the area of high pressure kind of settles in. And then, well, things ramp up on Saturday and Sunday with more clouds and more widespread showers and even some thunderstorms. And looks like this wet pattern is going to continue for the next several days. Other than maybe Friday, which may be a little bit of a break, but as you can see, weekend into early to mid next week, same situation. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. So far in Manatee County, those roads are not looking too bad out there at this hour. No real blips to tell you about. Heading a little farther south into the top half of Sarasota County. Again, those roads are looking pretty decent. Not too much going on so far this morning. And if you're headed out south on 75 or 41, let's move that map to the next part of Sarasota County. Those roads are also looking pretty good this morning. Not too much going on at this hour. 5:16, that is your first alert traffic.
Weather continues to make news around the country. Record-setting rainfall in some areas and extreme heat elsewhere. Reporter Andrew Spencer has a story.
The flooding this week took out part of this building in Tremont, Pennsylvania. 3 people live in apartments above American Legion Post 384. The building has been deemed unsafe.
The floods knocked the walls out here, and we're not allowed to be in it anymore.
Plenty of people in the area are now on cleanup duty.
Last time this happened in 2011, I lost my whole front sidewalk. But I was lucky this time, but the cellar's a mess.
In Hummelstown, Pennsylvania, the floodwaters caused all sorts of debris to pile up against a bridge. The bridge itself unusable as parts of it were underwater. And with more rain on the way, the problems could get worse. Going into Wednesday, flash flood watches and warnings were in effect along the East Coast from parts of South Carolina to New York. Heavy downpours also hit parts of the West, flooding streets in Englewood, Colorado on Tuesday, making a mess of this parking deck and bringing hail. In Santa Fe, New Mexico, Andrea Caldera recorded video of turbulent water that swept away dozens of her chickens.
It was terrible. My daughters were crying. I was nearly in tears.
Meanwhile, much of the Southwest could use a little rainfall. Signs in Palm Desert, California displaying the temperature show heat well into the triple digits. The National Weather Service issuing excessive heat warnings in recent days from California to Texas. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Well, you know the scenario. The phone rings. You don't really know the number. And if you do decide to answer, it's an annoying robocall. The FCC says they've actually gotten worse this year with an average of 1,300 calls every second. So how do you stop them? Well, first, there are some apps you can download and put on your phone. They're designed to block some of those unwanted calls. There's apps out there like Truecaller and RoboKiller. They will intercept the calls for you. But whatever you do when you do get those robocalls, don't say hello, don't push any buttons, and definitely do not call the number back. Now, all that does is tell them that they've reached an actual person, and then they really won't stop calling.
There are more and more telemarketers out there all over the world who have the technology, who have the systems. It's very simple to install a multiple calling system, and it doesn't cost them anything.
Now, of course, you can also file a complaint with the FCC's Consumer Complaint Center. Now, the data that they collect can track the trends. They can find the most abusive callers, and then, of course, they can check on any enforcement investigations.
The trick is just don't answer calls you don't recognize, right?
That seems to be the safest way to go. Just don't answer the call, and as soon as you see it, block the number.
That's true, too.
All right, like a long block list.
So.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Soon you're going to be able to get more than just other people's restaurant reviews on Yelp. We're going to tell you about a unique new feature that they're adding. I think you'll like this.
And next half hour, developing story right here in Florida over the state's Stand Your Ground law. A closer look when we come back. But first, this is a shot of San Francisco. Right now it's 2:20 a.m. out there. Been there before?
I have been there before. Do you know what's invented there?
The Golden Gate Bridge.
Nope, close. The fortune cookie.
Really?
A Japanese resident, he invented the fortune cookie there.
That's good trivia.
That's all I got.
It is 5:20 right now. That's good enough. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
All right, check this out. A large sinkhole in Sheridan, Colorado swallows a car. Now, the police department there rescued the driver who drove into this massive sinkhole last night. Police say, thankfully, the driver wasn't hurt.
Trying to find him in there somewhere.
I know, inside that hole.
Oh, boy.
Well, the next Apple iPhone will reportedly be available in all kinds of new colors, and Yelp is going to be adding more than just your restaurant reviews to their site.
The stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a possible change for the iPhone.
Reports say the next iPhone will come in several different colors, including white, taupe, yellow, orange, and blue. The phone's expected to be unveiled this fall with a 6.1-inch screen, which is more than half an inch bigger than the iPhone 8 Plus. And Walmart is expanding its grocery delivery partnership with Postmates.
It's now available to shoppers in Los Angeles, San Diego, and their surrounding areas. That announcement came as Walmart rival Amazon said it's expanding its grocery deliveries to several new markets. And Yelp is now giving you health inspection scores of restaurants along with its reviews by customers.
The program started 5 years ago in San Francisco, but now it's going national. Yelp calls it a win for consumer food safety.
Yeah, the restaurants are calling it a stunt. They're probably giving it 1 star.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Xeljanz.
Your mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz XR is right for you. Xeljanz XR is a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. It can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Don't let another morning go by without talking to your rheumatologist about Xeljanz XR.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. Can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
New information today about the Sarasota man accused of shooting a Fort Myers police officers. Do new letters written to a judge contain a warning?
Plus, a Suncoast landmark hours away from the wrecking ball today. We'll have a live report from the former Colony Resort on Longboat Key.
And summer heat means more time at the pool, but we've got a new health warning for you about a parasite that could be swimming right along with you. We're going to have those stories, plus today's forecast. It all starts right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Well, you're a lot of fun.
I know, right? Swimming with parasites.
Cancel plans for the pool today.
Not going to be on your next travel itinerary. Good morning to you. It's 5:29. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is off this week. Josh Stone right now tracking some storms off the coast.
Yes, thanks, Ray and Stephanie. We do have activity out here in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll zero in close to the Suncoast. Nothing really onshore yet, but you can see a little more activity just offshore of Longboat Key, Anna Maria Island, also of Siesta Key. Some of these showers just popped up, and they are tracking to the west, or excuse me, to the east and to the northeast. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, but it doesn't look like any lightning strikes are coming out of these. Expect partly to mostly cloudy skies today, and the rain chance will start to amplify as we get into the afternoon, but I think most of the heaviest stuff will probably be well east of I-75. Back to you.
Thank you, Josh. Checking first alert traffic right now. We'll see some buildup on 64 westbound, way out east of the interstate. Not sure why there's a buildup there already, but be aware of that if you live out in that direction. Otherwise, pretty clear in the Manatee County region. Farther south, we'll check Fruitville Road. Eastbound, as you get near Honore, congestion there already. Otherwise, pretty clear in the north part of the county. And South County, all clear. Just some small congestion there as you travel from Nokomis south on 41 toward Venice.
Today, new developments in the case of a Sarasota man accused in the weekend shooting of a Fort Myers police officer. Immigration officials have told ABC7 that they want to speak to Windsor Desmarais and do have a hold placed on him for when he is released from the hospital. Now, according to immigration officials, Desmarais is a citizen of Haiti. Now, his father, who lives in Sarasota, does not believe his son fired the shot that hit the officer.
Don't believe that. It's something they make up, to get him in. They make it up because they were shooting, I wasn't there, so I don't, but people heard that they were shooting like crazy.
Desmarais is now facing 8 felony charges, including attempted first-degree murder. The Fort Myers officer is currently in critical but stable condition this morning. And later on this morning at our 6 o'clock hour, we're going to have some new insight into Desmarais' state of mind and what he himself calls mental illness.
A developing story over the state's Stand Your Ground law. That's a video that's gone viral. Perhaps you've seen it by now. A dispute over a handicapped parking spot in Clearwater. As ABC's Maggie Rulli shows us, the victim's family is furious that the sheriff won't press charges.
The battle over the Stand Your Ground law in Florida is heating up. And the family of 28-year-old Marquise McLaughlin is demanding justice.
Any kind of law that allows one man to kill another man, and the man that pulled the trigger don't even get fingerprinted, needs to stop. Something needs to be done.
Pushing back against the state attorney and demanding the prosecutor charge this man, Michael Drejka, seen here on surveillance video shooting and killing their son last Thursday.
We're asking the officer, Bernie McCabe, to file charges against Mr. Drejka, because if not, they're sanctioning a murder.
The entire incident began with a fight over a parking space. Drejka is seen approaching McLaughlin's girlfriend in the car when she says he starts harassing her about parking in a handicap spot.
This man came to me. This man was armed. He could have killed my whole family.
McLaughlin runs over, shoving the man to the ground. That's when Drejka whips out his gun and fires.
There was no imminent danger that Mr. Drejka was going to die. There was no weapon that was brandished.
But Drejka is claiming self-defense under the so-called Stand Your Ground law, which gives Floridians the right to defend themselves if they feel threatened. The police agree and did not charge Drejka.
Now you have someone that snuffed out his life that is walking around the streets.
The shooting has sparked protests in Florida, with hundreds calling for justice and a change in the laws. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, the man convicted of murdering a doctor's wife in Manatee County back in 2009 is getting ready to face a jury again, this time for different murder charges. A judge set Delmer Smith's trial date for January 28th of next year. Now, Smith is charged in the rape and murder of a Sarasota woman back in 2009. DNA evidence linked Smith to that case. Now, he's already on death row for the murder of Kathleen Bryars of Manatee County and has been linked to a number of other home invasions in the area.
The SRQ police chief is under investigation for complaints of misconduct. According to the airport president, Chief James Carlino is on paid leave pending an investigation, but he also says the complaints are not of a criminal nature. In an interview with the Herald Tribune, President Rick Piccolo says Carlino is a good police chief and even recommended him for the school district's police chief position recently. More information will be released once the investigation is over.
So have all the recent data scandals affected Facebook's bottom line? Well, we are going to find out today. Now, 4 months ago, the social network site's market value plunged by tens of billions of dollars. That's when news broke that Cambridge Analytica got information from almost 90 million Facebook users without their permission. A tech analyst called it, quote, the darkest chapter in Facebook's 14-year history. Now, later today, Facebook is going to be releasing their second quarter earnings, and if that scandal is still a factor, it will show in the numbers.
In health news, a warning about a common parasite that might be found in public pools. It's called crypto, and it comes from fecal matter in pools. The parasite is spread by ingesting the pool water.
Crypto is actually short for cryptosporidium. Cryptosporidium is it's actually a single cell intestinal bacteria that can get you very sick, and yes, you can get from your swimming pool.
The parasite can cause intestinal problems for weeks. The CDC and pool professionals warn that if you're ill, avoid going in the pool.
Well, singer Demi Lovato reportedly in stable condition this morning after what police say was an overdose yesterday morning at her California home. Now, according to TMZ, she was found unconscious yesterday morning shortly before noon. Her friends used Narcan on her to revive her. That drug, of course, is used to reverse an opioid overdose. Now, she recently celebrated 6 years of sobriety, but her friends say she had been struggling with it lately, even revealing a relapse last month in her new song, Sober. She's been open over the years about her struggles with substance abuse and with mental illness.
A federal judge has ruled that Florida college campuses can be used for early voting sites in this year's elections. A U.S. district judge ruled this week that the state's ban on campuses for early voting is unconstitutional. The League of Women Voters and several college students sued the state over the ban back in May. A judge ruled that not allowing on-campus voting puts a burden on students.
Well, in about a year from now, Parrish will have a new elementary school. In fact, they're breaking ground on the Barbara A. Harvey Elementary in less than a week. It's going to be located off of Moccasin Wallow Road in Parrish, which is one of the fastest growing spots in that county. That new school is going to hold about 800 students when it opens in August of next year.
A new food truck will help children in Bradenton have access to free meals this summer. The new trailer is called the Caboose. It joins 2 other mobile feeding units until August 3rd. There it is. As part of the Summer Break Spot program, the Caboose will make 4 stops every day in Bradenton. Meals are free to any children 18 and younger. If you want to learn more about how to help families, go to our website, mysuncoast.com/hunger.
All right, check this out. Is it possible to be any cuter? Look at this. The Royal Burger Zoo in the Netherlands released this video of 2 Sri Lanka panther cubs playing with their mama. Check this out. Oh, the zookeeper there used a tiny little camera to film the playful 2-month-old cubs in their indoor enclosure, according to a statement from the zoo. Now, both of these cubs, they were actually born back in May, so they're only a little bit old, only a couple months old. Scientists estimate that there are fewer than 1,000 of these panthers that are actually left out in the wild. The zoo there says it's bred the endangered species successfully for some years now.
Still ahead, today marks the final sunrise for this Longboat Key Resort. We'll have a live report from the former Colony Resort.
Plus, it's a video that has gone viral. Check out this firefighter busting some good moves. Took a little time off for a second to do a little dance challenge. We're going to challenge Ray Collins to do this. I think you've got the same moves. It's going to happen.
I'll make sure I stretch first.
Okay, stretch first. We don't just pull anything important. All right.
Here's a shot now of Capitol Hill. Let's go see it. What do you know? There it is. Pretty shot there.
Gorgeous shot of the rotunda this morning. Looks like a nice quiet morning in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, probably a hot one there, but probably hot here as well, Josh.
Right, the hot air up there. But 83 here, we have hot air down here as well. Bradenton 82, 85 in Venice. Few clouds out there, but also a few showers just offshore right now. We're looking at some of the shower activity starting to ramp up here in the Gulf of Mexico, tracking to the east and northeast. Will it eventually affect our area, and will we have heavy rain out of this? We'll let you know in the weathercast in just a few minutes from now. Stay with us.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
All right, happy, what day is it? I don't even remember. Is it Wednesday? All right, happy Wednesday to you. Meteorologist Josh Doan in for John today. 82 right now in Sarasota, 84 in Venice, 84 in Inglewood. So a little warm along the coast here. And we're going to climb up into the upper 80s, low 90s once again, just like yesterday. We have this southwesterly flow that's helped to ignite some more shower activity in the Gulf of Mexico. And you can see a lot of green on the map here just off the coast of Anna Maria Island, Longboat Key, Siesta Key, even Casey Key. We have some shower activity. Doesn't look like any lightning's coming out of these showers right now, but we had some stronger cells that moved on shore around the Tampa Bay area earlier this morning that produced about 40-mile-per-hour gust of wind. So anyway, we'll just watch out for this, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal other than maybe some light rain that could come on shore. Later on this afternoon, any heavier rain that develops probably will be east of I-75. So a few showers in our forecast today. It slightly dries tomorrow and on Friday, and then things start to wrap up again for the weekend with more heavy wet weather coming our way. Now, this is interesting. This is our water vapor imagery, shows us the amount of moisture that's above us. The tan colors show the dry air. The light blue colors show where the moisture is. Well, the tan color is kind of dominating here as it wraps around this area of low pressure that's to our north. That's kind of suppressing some of this moisture. However, notice how it just kind of fades out because there's so much moisture here in the Gulf of Mexico that the dry air just can't win. And that's going to be the case as we go through the day today. This area of low pressure hasn't moved very much over the last several days, continues to bring that westerly, southwesterly flow, and thus we get the showers and storms and clouds and that mugginess in the air. Now, what's also not very comfortable is out here in the west. Right now, this is the current temperature, 100 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona. This is the current temperature, not the high. The current temperature about 3 hours behind us right now. So, yeah, it's going to be another warm one. I think they could top out to, last I saw, maybe 114, 115 degrees for a high today. Tropics, all quiet. Nothing going there, which is good news. Strong rip currents today, so if you're heading to the beach, look out for that. Southwesterly wind at 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet with a moderate chop in the bays. Highs today, like I said, will top out in the upper 80s, lower 90s for us. What can we expect for the next few days? Well, it looks like the shower activity starts to wind down a little bit for tomorrow, and then Friday looks to be the driest day over the next 7 days with partly cloudy skies. But as you can see what happens, more of that moisture comes into play here on Saturday and Sunday and lingers into early to mid next week. So it is going to be kind of a wet forecast for us. But if you're looking for the sunshine, let's concentrate on Friday with a little more sunshine in the forecast there. But other than that, we do have plenty of rain to go about for everyone here along the Suncoast if you're looking for the rain. All right, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Josh. Thankfully, not too many wet roads out there to worry about at this time of the morning. Now, starting off in Manatee County, those roads are not running too bad out there right now. 301 starting to show some blips, a couple here and there, but pretty typical for around this time in the morning. So far, the bridges, both of them, those are both running pretty smooth, so nothing to worry about in that area. Then in Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent. If you can see right there, Fruitville is starting to get a little bit busier as it does around this time of the morning, as is, I believe that is Clark Road that is on there, or Bee Ridge Road. And then those roads are not looking too bad. Now, if you're going to be headed toward Port Charlotte, 75, 41, both running pretty decent. You can see 41's got a little bit of a backup there southbound as you head toward Venice, but not too much to worry about at this hour. It's 5:46, and that is your first alert traffic.
Other traffic news now. Construction begins today for a new roundabout in Manatee County. It's coming to the intersection of 15th Street East and Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. Right there, the intersection should be finished in about 6 months.
Well, once a world-class destination, the iconic Colony Resort on Longboat Key is getting torn down later today.
A made-for-TV movie. That is such a bizarre twist in that whole story. Marla Spence has an update now live from the former resort. Marla?
Hey guys, years ago, so many people shared so many memories at the former Colony Beach and Tennis Resort that now sits behind these closed gates. Now, nearly after 8 years of being abandoned, the resort is finally coming down. An emergency demolition ordered by a judge last month declared the property to be unsafe, unhealthy, and hazardous. Longboat Key officials say the buildings are decaying and just falling apart. This comes after 28 buildings on nearly 18 acres of property were left abandoned back in 2010 after a legal fight between condo owners and managers of the property. We spoke to the attorney who was representing Colony Beach Resort residents last month after the judge ruled the demolition of the resort. He told us he was surprised the judge agreed that the buildings had emergency conditions.
There was some evidence of termites, but no evidence of structural damage as a result of termites, to give you one example. The judge also made a big thing of the fire hazard of the buildings, but the only testimony was that they could catch fire because they're wood.
Now, some residents did try to fix the issues before the demolition was set in place, but they were not allowed to do so. Once demolition and the former resort is finally torn down, there are plans to build a St. Regis Resort and Residencies development. Reporting live at Longboat Key, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. A wildfire in California has now burned 38,000 acres and is causing the closure of the Yosemite National Park. The fire is only 25% contained. And as reporter Natalie Granada tells us, campers at the park are rushing to evacuate.
Get yourself out of here if you can. There is some administrative leave.
The Ferguson fire is forcing parts of Yosemite National Park to close. Highway 41 into the park will also shut down as the fire creeps closer to dozens of homes and structures.
This is a full suppression fire, and we are fully engaged. We have even authorized dozer line inside Yosemite, which is hardly ever done.
The road will close from Wawona to the valley floor. Visitors and residents like Elise Lane are rushing to leave.
A little crazy. It's kind of going over my head. I know a lot of my friends are leaving and going to just like higher places where the smoke isn't affecting quite yet.
Fire crews are making some improvement on containing the fire. However, they say the most active area is headed toward the Yosemite West region. CAL FIRE officials say they're going to have to fight fire with fire to stop the spread.
We're going to bring fire along our fire lines right up to Highway 41. So there'll be a lot of fire equipment, there'll be a lot of firefighters on the ground looking to make sure that we don't have any spot fires or anything like that. Obviously, there'll be a lot of smoke generators, so there'll be lack of visibility.
Folks staying in the campground and hotels will have until Wednesday afternoon to check out. People won't be able to access the valley floor, and most operations will stop.
As these firefighters are working in this area, strictly for visitor safety, we have to close the roads. We can't have vehicles on that road because you've got firefighting equipment, you've got firefighters, you've got air operations.
The closure will last until Sunday. At that point, park rangers and firefighters will assess the situation and determine whether they're ready to reopen.
And that Ferguson fire has been burning now for nearly 2 weeks.
Well, check this out. An Oklahoma firefighter and his sweet dance moves have racked up over 9 million views in just 3 days. Sonny Pulatasi credits his son for actually teaching him the dance to In My Feelings by Drake. Now, obviously, as Ray knows, it's the hottest new dance challenge out there right now. Now, Pulatasi has been with the department for 2 years. He says the online comments and compliments about his moves have been pretty hilarious to read.
It's been crazy and funny. My wife and I, we've been in bed, just reading the comments, cracking up.
Most of them have just been the people who are going to set their house on fire, or they're going to move here, and we're like, some of them are, I'm like, oh my gosh, let me not repeat it. I'm like, okay, that one's funny.
You don't have to set your house on fire. You can just go online to watch it. Sonny said he put the video out all in fun. He just wanted to show people that you can have a little fun on the job when you've got a little downtime. But he has no current plans to join the new Magic Mike tour anytime soon.
That's what we do during the commercial breaks here.
It is. You know, we've taught him everything he knows.
I'm still doing the Macarena, though.
Oh, gosh.
All right, let's take a live look at 552 of New York Central Park and some ominous clouds above there. Looks like a still photo. That's actually live video right now.
Big storm rolling in.
Yeah. We'll update today's top news headlines and have more from Josh Stone and his forecast coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jaffe Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face,
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Welcome back. Demolition begins this afternoon on the former Colony Resort on Longboat Key. The site will soon be cleared for a St. Regis hotel.
Plus, one of the biggest faces of the Tampa Bay Bucks won't be seen on Raymond James Stadium. Player murals are going up this week at the stadium, and quarterback Jameis Winston's image won't be one of them. He was suspended by the NFL for the first 3 games of the season after being accused of groping an Uber driver back in 2016.
And the airport chief at SRQ is on paid leave. The airport CEO says the complaint against James Carlino is not criminal in nature.
And time right now to take one final look at your weather from Josh Stone, who's in for John Scalzi this week. Josh?
Yes, temperatures right now 83 degrees and the dew point 77, humidity at 82%, wind out of the southwest to 10 miles per hour. A few scattered showers out there, but they are starting to move on shore. We're watching it pretty closely. And of course, we'll have more of this and the rest of the week forecast a little bit later.
All right, talk to you soon. More news 3 minutes away.